Hi, and welcome to Oriflame's recruitment webinar. If you're watching and listening to this webinar, then you are looking to build your business, and we are delighted that you could join us. And I hope that today we can give you a few hints and tips about building your business and about recruiting in general. Because the most important word in building a business is, surprisingly enough, you guessed it, recruitment. And why is it so important to recruit? Well, if you want to build a business, recruitment is the lifeblood. The more you recruit, the bigger you'll grow your business, the further you'll get up the Oriflame success ladder. And here's just an example of the numbers of people you need to get to the various levels. These are average numbers, so don't take these as absolute gospel. But what I'd call the minimum requirements. If you've got 5 consultants in your team, you have a chance to become group manager. To get to the district manager level, you certainly need around 75 plus consultants in your team. Regional manager, 250. Senior regional manager, 750. And if you aspire to be one of the very best regional directors, then around 1,000 consultants. Now, those figures may look very daunting to you. These are not the numbers that you need to recruit personally, because as you grow your team, you will grow your managers as well, and your managers will be helping you achieve these figures. The important thing is that if you get the recruitment right at the very beginning, then you can teach your managers how to recruit. And if everybody in your team is of the same mind about recruitment, then believe me, you will succeed. But the minute you take your eye off recruitment, that's when the business begins to falter or go back. So hopefully, as I say, today we'll give you some idea of how you can keep the momentum going. First question I'd ask, who do you recruit? My answer, absolutely anybody. Please don't be judgmental about recruitment. I've been in the business now 38 years, and in that time, I still have not mastered the art of choosing the successful person at the very first interview or very first contact. Sometimes the people I thought would be very good have failed, and some of those who I didn't think would be very good have gone on to be superb people in the business. So my advice is recruit everybody or anybody, give them the chance, set them tasks. You'll soon find out whether or not you've made the right choice. But if you've made the wrong choice, don't worry. Nobody's perfect. Nobody gets it right all the time. Just move on. Where do we recruit? Again, absolutely anywhere. I think if you've got the state of mind that says, I am always looking for recruits, then anywhere that you go is viable. Be it going to the shops, picking the kids up from school, whatever. I'm always talking about Oriflame and the Oriflame opportunity. So again, get that into your head, anybody, anywhere, and of course, anytime. If you seriously want to build a business with our company, then when you go out in the morning, think recruitment. When you go out in the evening, think recruitment. That way, you will genuinely succeed. So my advice is make recruitment a state of mind. Make it a habit, not something unusual. All too often people think, right, my recruitment day is Tuesday. What I would say is make every day a recruitment day. You don't necessarily have to allocate time on any particular day, but just go out in the state of mind that when I talk to people today, whoever I meet, I'm going to offer the opportunity or at least talk about the opportunity. Don't be shy about it. Don't be bashful about the opportunity that you've got to offer. Please bear in mind that there are 64 million people in the UK, and the vast majority of those people are looking for extra income. So make it your evangelical mission to tell everybody about the superb opportunities that we've got available. So how do we recruit? The first place I go to is your contact list. It's so important that everybody in our business has a contact list, because the contact list not only brings you customers, it brings you potential consultants, potential party hosts. Get all your consultants to make their contact list. If they're not interested in recruiting, then maybe they can refer somebody off their contact list who is interested in joining the business. So the bigger the contact list that you've got, the stronger the business and the more leads you've got to go at. And the stronger your consultants' contact lists, the more chance you've got of referrals from that list. I think one of the myths in recruitment is when we say, what about your customers? Why don't you recruit your customers into the business? And people throw up their hands in horror and say, well, no, I earn money off my customers. Why would I want to turn them into consultants? Well, I've just done a very quick excuse me, approximation of the earnings you can make if you actually convert a customer to a consultant. Let's assume your customer spends approximately £20 or €20, it makes no difference, each catalogue. And they buy from, say, 10 catalogues a year, because very few actually buy every single catalogue. Then they will give you €200 worth of sales, of which you earn 30%. So from that customer, you've made £60 or €60 for yourself. Now convert the customer into a consultant who submits 10 orders, average value £150, €150. They earn, as a new consultant, £450, €450 for themselves, but as a direct consultant, you will earn 9% of their BV value, and that works out at £94.50, €94.50. So basically you've gone from earning £60 from this person to earning £94.50 from this person. You're £34.50 better off. The customer themselves have gone from spending £200 to earning £450. They're considerably better off. So please, please, please don't worry about converting customers to consultants. It's in your best interests and it's in their best interests. If there was a golden rule about recruitment, this would be it. If you talk to 10 people per day about the Oriflame opportunity, I guarantee you will succeed. Now, that's not necessarily going out to find those 10 people. It's talking to 10 people in the everyday course of your day. If you're down at the supermarket and you're at the cash out, do you talk to the lady who's running the stuff through the till and say, by the way, do you know anybody who's looking for part-time work? When you go into a shop, when you pick the kids up from school, it's just a casual, by the way, who do you know? And those are the words that I use every time. This works in every single circumstance. If I walk up to a stranger, I will say, excuse me, I wonder if you could help me. It's non-threatening, it's not invasive, and most people turn around and say, well, I will if I can. Because they're probably expecting you to ask for directions to the high street or W.H. Smith's or whatever. And I then follow that up with, I'm just in the area at the moment looking for people who would like an extra income. And I wondered if you know anybody looking for part-time work. I would never ask directly, are you looking for part-time work? Because the chances are they'll say no. But if you say, I wonder if you know anybody who's looking, it gives them a chance to say no, certainly, but it also gives them the chance to say, well, actually, I am. What's it all about? And then you start the conversation. If that person just said, no, I can't think of anybody, and they're obviously in a rush, then please, 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 just leave them with a window card or a business card, because you can guarantee if you don't, that person goes home, sits down, has a cup of tea and thinks, do you know, I bet my sister would have been interested in a part-time job. And they've nobody to contact. So please always leave the person with some details of how they can contact you. My apologies for the cough. That's one method, talking to people. It's my favourite, but the actual methods of recruitment are absolutely endless. Shopping malls, I like going into shopping malls and talking to people. If the security and they don't like you going into the shopping malls, then I'll stand outside and talk to people. Or I'll go into the shopping malls and go into every shop and talk to the shop assistant. And guess what I say when I talk to the shop assistant? Hi, I wonder if you could help me. I'm just in the area at the moment looking for people who want to earn some extra cash. So very simple approach every time. If it's one of the big stores like a Tesco's or a Morrison's, then I'll ask them if I can leave the catalogue and a couple of window cards in their staff room. And I tell you, 99 out of 100 are quite happy to take the catalogue, take the window card or business card and bob it in the staff room. I also like going door to door, just knocking on the door where I need somebody locally. And again, it's exactly the same approach. Hi, I wonder if you could help me. Do you know, people in general are very, very nice. And in all the times I've done door to door, I don't get a bad reception. I don't get people slamming the door in my face, as mythology says. People genuinely, if you approach them the right way, are quite happy to talk. I would also go into Google and just key in what's on in, let's say, Milton Keynes in January, February, March. It'll give you a list then of all the events that are going on in the Milton Keynes area or wherever you live, obviously, be it garden fetes, gymkhanas, shows, some Independence Day celebrations for the Philippine Independence Day, whatever it is, you get a list and it gives you a chance to plan, to be at those events and to obviously hand out the window cards and catalogues and recruit people into the business. I do apologise for the tickly cough. Referrals. I've got referrals down there. Do you know 15,000 people join a direct selling business each and every week? That's a staggering amount. 75% of those are referrals. So if you've got a team of people, keep talking to them, keep asking them for referrals. Who do they know who might be interested in a part-time job or even a management job or a career? Parish magazines, cheap and very well read normally. So I always like to use the local parish magazine, local newspapers, but they can tend to be expensive. Surveys, where you just stood in the street with a clipboard, talking to people. Have you seen Oriflame? Do you know of Oriflame? Would you like a catalogue if we were in your area? Surveys is something I think you need to do with your upline. It's not something you just go out and do yourself. You need somebody holding your hand to begin with to give you the confidence. Customers we've already talked about. Job centres are now beginning to take our adverts. Some job centres do, some job centres don't, but it's always worth going in there and asking. I am a huge believer in window cards. Getting window cards out in as many shop windows as you possibly can. I usually stay away from newsagents and post offices because they charge, and I don't like paying out money. But a lot of shops will take them for free if you use the right approach. Guess what the approach is? Excuse me, wonder if you could help me. Just in the area at the moment looking for people who may be interested in earning some extra cash. Would you mind very much if we bob one of these in your window? Do it with a smile. You'd be amazed how many people are quite happy to put the card up for you. Putting flyers through doors, going into laundrettes and leaving a couple of flyers about. Students, there are hundreds of thousands of students in the UK looking for extra income. Toddlers groups, hairdressers, beauticians, takeaways. I always used to leave stuff in takeaways because you go into a chip shop or go into an Indian takeaway and you stood there waiting for them to get your order ready and you're looking round, and I like to have one of our window cards on the wall. The PGD file, talk to your upline. That's a list of all the people in your team. Keep going back to your existing people because people's circumstances change so very, very quickly. And somebody who asked maybe a month ago whether they were interested and weren't may well be interested now. incentives. The company puts on incentives. Don't be afraid to put on your own incentives as well to your existing people, asking them for referrals. It doesn't have to be huge prizes. Just, something every time you see Mary. Mary, come on, this catalogue, I've got a little incentive on. Anybody who gets me a name who starts, I'm going to give them a free hand cream, whatever it is. I love supermarkets. 2 reasons. Supermarkets usually have a notice board where you can put our window card in there. I tend to just go in, put it in the rack and leave it there. But the other thing to watch out for is people advertising themselves. You very often see people saying, looking for babysitting work, looking for gardening work, whatever. Now, very rarely do people say, I am looking for a direct sales firm business in cosmetics. But the point is these people are looking to earn money. So don't be afraid to ring them up and say, I saw your advert in Tesco's, you've got a card in there. I haven't got a gardening job, but I have got a proposition you may be interested in. Don't forget, whatever you do, whoever you approach, the worst they can say is no. And, you should look forward to getting no's, because the more no's you get, the nearer you are to a yes. And if you are going out doing these jobs and recruiting on a regular basis, set yourself a target. Not a target of necessarily how many you recruit, but say, I'm going to do this until I get 10 no's. So I'm going to put window cards out until 10 shopkeepers say no. That way, when somebody does say no, it's no huge disappointment. Right, that's one of my 10. I'll tell you what, if you do that, I reckon you'll get 50 window cards out before you get 10 no's. Just a different slant on things. Community radio. There are a lot of local radio stations now, not run by commercial stations, but BBC community radios. And it's worth approaching them and saying, hey, look, I'm building a business, I've got part-time vacancies, is there any chance you can just put something on your community slot to say that I'm actually recruiting in the area? Again, the worst thing to say is no. And please, always get your leaflets or window cards or business cards wherever people congregate. Sports centres, gyms, colleges, swimming baths, libraries. It's endless. And I could go on and on and on and bore you considerably with all the different ways of recruiting. But I think I'm no better than you. Just think about the things that are happening in and around your area that would help you in your recruitment. I think also key to all of this, I've talked about business cards and I've talked about window cards. I think it's very, very important that you use the right leaflets, right window cards, right business cards. And we've done a deal with a company called Printwell who will personalize all your window cards or business cards, and that's the site to go on, www.papermanage.co.uk/Oriflame. It's very easy to order, very easy to put your information in, and you can choose which window cards you want. It will be personalized with your telephone number, website, email, whatever you want on there. And I just think it looks so professional to have printed your details. They also do business cards and other things as well. So go onto the site, have a look. We've negotiated some incredibly good prices. So please remember, you need to invest in your business. In any business, you need to invest in order to grow the business. Speculate to accumulate. You've got the company name behind you. You've got great catalogues, great products. Just spend that bit on building your business. Don't forget, this could be a long-term career for you and a regular source of very good income. So never be afraid to spend a wee bit. And I think finally, how do you recruit your way to success? Nothing happens until you plan it. And I think you should have a recruitment plan made up of several elements. Choose the various ways of recruitment that you feel most comfortable with. I think it's pointless going out doing something that you hate. I love going door to door. I love talking to people in the street. I love putting window cards out. I love going to the supermarkets and talking to the staff. But that not might be your forte. You try the things. Find out which you feel most comfortable with and work with those. But try one new method of recruitment each week. You never know. You might be afraid of going door to door. You may be afraid of going up to strangers and talking to them. You may turn out to be the best one we've ever had at that once you've tried it. But again, I think if you do feel a little uncomfortable with any of these methods and need help, that's what your upline is there for. Because your upline is there to try and help you develop and reach whatever goals you want within the business. Door to door, always worth a try. And if you are going door to door, always ask the person if they know of anyone who could benefit from earning some extra cash, just the way we do with everything else. Door to door is great because you get people in the area that you want. But I think the most important thing is the planning of it. So get the diary out and think each week I am going to spend time on specific days recruiting and building my business. And I think if you're genuinely serious about building the business, you need to allocate probably an hour and a half on 3 different days each week. But please don't let that be the only recruitment you do. Remember what I said at the beginning. Make it a mindset. Make it so that every time you go out of the door, you're thinking recruitment, you're talking to people about it. Be proud of the company you belong to and be proud of the opportunity that we can offer to other people. So I hope this has been of some use to you and good luck in all your efforts. My name is Peter Sykes. I'm the Sales Director. My telephone number is anywhere, and if any of you want to discuss things, my door is always open. So good luck and have a great year. Thank you.